The Censors by Luisa Valenzuela. 1. Introduction. Luisa Valenzuela's The Censors is a deceptively simple, yet profoundly complex short story that critiques censorship, explores psychological transformation, and examines the destructive effects of fear and paranoia. We'll look closely at its themes and literary techniques, define these elements, and analyze how they are used in the story to convey deeper meaning. 2. Themes. In-depth exploration. Themes are the central ideas or messages that a story communicates. In The Censors, Valenzuela uses her narrative to explore profound societal and psychological issues. Here are the main themes explained with examples. Censorship and oppression. Definition. Censorship refers to the suppression or control of communication, often by a government or authority, to maintain power. In the story, the government censors letters to suppress dissent. This control extends beyond mere letters to controlling thoughts and actions. For example, Juan becomes a willing participant in the system he initially fears, enforcing censorship with enthusiasm. Impact. Valenzuela critiques censorship as a tool of oppression that destroys personal freedoms and creativity. The government uses censorship to isolate individuals, creating a culture of fear and mistrust. B. Fear and paranoia. Definition. Paranoia is an irrational distrust of others, often stemming from fear or anxiety. In the story, Juan initially fears that his innocent letter to Mariana will be misinterpreted by the government. This fear drives him to infiltrate the censorship office. However, once inside, his paranoia shifts. He begins to see every letter as a potential threat to the government. Examples. Juan's increasing suspicion of the harmless letters he censors reflects how fear can distort perception. The exaggerated methods of the censorship office, smelling letters, analyzing stains, highlight the absurdity of paranoia in an oppressive system. Message. Valenzuela shows how fear doesn't just target individuals, it infects systems, perpetuating cycles of suspicion and repression. C. Psychological transformation. Definition. A psychological transformation refers to a profound change in a character's mental state, often triggered by external pressures. In the story, Juan undergoes a chilling transformation from a concerned lover to a zealous censor. Initially, he criticizes the censors, describing their thoroughness as dangerous. However, as he rises through the ranks, he adopts their mindset, losing his humanity and individuality. His final act, censoring his own letter, illustrates how fully he has become a product of the system. Impact. This theme reflects the dehumanizing power of authoritarian systems, which can turn even well-meaning individuals into tools of oppression. D. Irony and absurdity. Definition. Irony occurs when there's a contrast between expectations and reality, often used to highlight absurdity. In the story, the ultimate irony lies in Juan's journey. He joins the censors to protect himself and Mariana, but ends up becoming the very thing he feared, leading to his own execution. Example. His letter, meant to express love and connection, becomes the vehicle for his downfall. This irony underscores the absurdity of oppressive systems where simple acts like writing a letter can be life-threatening. Literary techniques. Defined and analyzed. Literary techniques are the tools writers use to enhance their storytelling. In The Censors, Valenzuela masterfully employs several techniques to amplify the story's themes. A. Irony. Definition. Irony is a contrast between expectations and reality. It can be verbal, what is said versus what is meant, situational, what happens versus what's expected, or dramatic. The audience knows something the characters do not. In the story, situational irony. Juan's job as a censor, meant to save Mariana, ultimately causes his downfall. His devotion to censorship leads him to censor his own letter, which seals his fate. Verbal irony. The narrator's tone is often ironic. Phrases like "poor Juan" and "one more victim of his devotion to his work" mock Juan's tragic transformation and blind loyalty to the system. Purpose. Irony highlights the absurdity of Juan's situation and critiques the oppressive government's control over individuals. B. Symbolism. Definition. Symbolism uses objects, characters, or events to represent broader ideas. In the story, the letter represents personal freedom, love, and individuality, all of which are destroyed by censorship. The censorship office, symbolizes the repressive government dehumanizing everyone who enters its system. Impact. These symbols emphasize the destructive power of censorship and fear. C. Absurdism. Absurdism focuses on the illogical or nonsensical aspects of human existence, often highlighting the futility of actions in oppressive systems. In the story, the exaggerated scrutiny of letters, smelling them, analyzing commas, is absurd, illustrating the irrationality of paranoia and authoritarian control. Juan's decision to join the censors to intercept one letter highlights the futility of resistance within such systems. Purpose. Absurdism amplifies the sense of helplessness and critiques the irrationality of oppressive regimes. D. Omniscient narration. Definition. An omniscient narrator knows everything about the characters and events, offering commentary and insight. In the story, the narrator provides a detached but critical perspective, foreshadowing Juan's fate and mocking his transformation. Example. The narrator's remark that Juan's happiness at receiving Mariana's address is one of fate's dirty tricks sets the tone for the story's tragic and ironic conclusion. Effect. The narration creates distance, allowing readers to critically analyze Juan's transformation and the system's absurdity. 4. Examples from the text. He censored it without regret. This chilling line underscores the extent of Juan's transformation. It's a powerful example of irony, as his original purpose, saving Mariana, has been completely forgotten. They examine, sniff, feel, and read between the lines. This absurd description of the censor's methods highlights the paranoia and irrationality of the system. One more victim of his devotion to his work. This ironic observation critiques the system's ability to turn individuals into its own victims. 5. Conclusion. Luisa Valenzuela's The Censors is a masterful exploration of how authoritarian systems manipulate fear and control individuals. Through her use of irony, symbolism, and absurdism, she critiques the loss of personal freedoms and the dehumanization that occurs under oppressive regimes. As we reflect on the story, consider its relevance in today's world and think critically about the balance between security and freedom in our own lives.